We learned a lot in the last 24 hours, haven't we? We really have. Number one, the New York Yankees do cheat. I mean, we got to put that out there. It's not Aaron Judge. It's not the first base coach. It's not even Luis Rojas standing outside the box at third base. It's Domingo Germán. He's a cheater. Domingo Germán obviously had sticky stuff. It was not rosin, according to the umpires. The stickiest hands they've ever seen. Obviously, they didn't do many Max Scherzer games in the last 3 years. But neither here nor there. Domingo Germán's going to be banished from baseball for 10 games. That's a lock. So no Domingo Germán gets kicked out in the fourth inning. And while we made a big hubbubaloo about the New York Yankees cheating, it was under the umbrella of Aaron Judge. Well, Aaron Judge's not a cheater. And Jackson came out yesterday and said, I was tipping my pitches. Who would think that in the very next game, the Yankees would be caught cheating? Damn it. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Yeah, then the Yankees go on. They beat Toronto again because they own Toronto right now in the moment. And all hell's breaking loose, right?
If you factor in the excitement of the game, if you factor in all the weird stuff that happened between Domingo Germán, between a weird injury to poor Ian Hamilton, between the complaining from both sides about where coaches are standing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then you throw in Aaron Judge basically laughing at all the criticisms and then lying again after the game over another thing that was stupid. That was pound for pound one of the more entertaining games you'll ever see.
No doubt about it.
Had
everything. I will say this. I was extraordinarily disappointed. I'm glad the Yankees won the game. I'm glad the Yankees owned Toronto in the moment. But the fact that Gausman didn't drill him, first pitch of the first at-bat, Aaron Judge, meek little grounder to short, swung right away, no acknowledgement of what went on, and meekly walks back to the dugout having grounded out. Mm-hmm. And I know you got the out. That's what's important for Toronto. But Toronto, for all the bitching and moaning and whining they did in calling them the league offices and trying to get Judge suspended and complaining about cheating and on and on and on, and then they wind up not throwing at a guy they accused of cheating and thought cheated, is frankly embarrassing.
They were more pissed off at the Yankee coaches than they were Aaron Judge.
Still, that's embarrassing.
That's what they showed you last night.
You got to drill him.
Between Pete Walker playfully, according to Toronto and according to John Schneider, playfully going after Luis Rojas for not being in the right spot.
Yeah.
They were more pissed off at the coaches than they were Aaron Judge.
Yeah, anyway, good job by Aaron Judge.
That's why it wasn't surprising. I mean, you can't tell me you were surprised that they didn't hit him. They weren't going to hit him.
I was so surprised. I may not watch baseball again this week. I'm so happy the Yankees won. And all the nonsense about where Luis Rojas is standing, where this guy's standing. I mean, come on,
Yankees
guys.
did the same thing, too. Aaron Boone gave it back to the Jays.
That's right. That's right.
But you know what I noticed?
Because you can't yell at my guy for being 3 foot outside the box if your guy's 3 feet outside the box.
It's tit for tat.
At the end of the day, nobody really cares.
Well, here's what I was thinking. And so far it's been denied, but this is my theory, the way my brain's working. Do you remember what inning that took place, the whole back and forth with the coaches?
Fourth, fifth.
It was the third inning.
Third.
Okay, so this happens in the third inning, where the umpires are talking to Boone, they're talking to John Schneider, they're talking to Rojas, and they're figuring this whole mess out. About 15 minutes later, Domingo Germán got checked, and obviously they noticed way too much sticky stuff, whatever the hell you want to call it. They threw him out of the game.
Yep.
Is it not possible in the course of the discussion about the coaches, John Schneider may have said to the umpire, oh, by the way, check out that pitcher, too. He's probably got sticky stuff all over his hands.
I mean, I did read the interview with the umpire, the pool reporter. I read it.
Yeah.
And he said, they like to check the starter 3 times. They checked him twice. They did not check him in the third because of the nonsense going on about, where Rojas was standing. So they decided to check him coming back out for the fourth. And then obviously they bring the whole guys together. They all acknowledge that the hand's ridiculous with the sticky stuff. And that's when they kick him out of the game. They were going to check him walking off the field at the in the third, supposedly.
Right, supposedly.
And then there is a chance they don't check him again. Now, I think that is a little silly for this reason. When you see the video of Domingo Germán's, I guess his right side, right, where he's rubbing the hand, it is so obviously discolored. And the tensions and emotions are already raised anyway because of the judge stuff from the night before, that even if the umps were not planning on checking him again, let's say he gives you 6 innings, making it up, right? And after the third, they've checked him 3 times. He's clean. He's good. There is no way Toronto would not have said something to the home plate umpire once they saw the brown stuff.
And also, you have scouting reports.
Rightfully so.
You also have scouting reports on every single player.
Yeah.
Domingo Germán got checked and got warned about a month ago. Remember, he had to wash his hands off?
Yeah, he did not get ejected.
He did not get it. No.
Right.
He did not get ejected. It was the game against Minnesota, and he washed his hands off, and he came back out, and everything was fine. I just wonder, even though Schneider denied it after the game, because I watched his post-game presser, too, and he's a liar. I mean, all these guys do is lie about stupid stuff.
Not Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone, I have great respect for.
Aaron Boone had a great post-game press conference.
Aaron Boone pregame
and pregame
defended the honor of the Toronto Blue Jay broadcast, and I respect that.
Yep.
While everyone else, like Aaron Judge and the Yes Network, wanted to kill the messenger, which is so weak and pathetic, Aaron Boone stood up for the craft of broadcasting and said that Dan Shulman and Buck Martinez did nothing wrong. But
by the way, how about what Aaron Boone did after the game?
Which aspect? Turned out throwing Domingo Germán under the bus?
How about the fact when he was asked about Domingo Germán, he kind of matter-of-factly said, Domingo's got to know better. It's on him.
Absolutely.
I mean, he could have made excuses for him. He could have denied it. He could have said, nah, the umpires got it wrong. He goes, look, Domingo Germán, I'm paraphrasing, obviously. He's a big boy. He knows what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. It's on him.
He throws in the
I respect
caveat that they want more direction from Major League Baseball, and Domingo Germán said the same thing. But overall, he did throw him under the bus.
Come on, Domingo Germán,
basically said he has to know better.
That wasn't rosin. The umps came out and said it.
Right.
Like he was using something that wasn't rosin. And again, maybe they were exaggerating a little bit, but one of the umpires said, I had a tough time pulling my hand off of his.
Well, that's what they said about Scherzer, too.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Listen, there are pitchers on every team, I have to imagine, that are trying to get an edge, that are using something because we know it works. No one can dispute the positive attributes for pitchers of having a stickier finger base for throwing a ball. And maybe not everyone's doing it, but there's a guy in every team trying.
Why? But the question is, when is too much? And I think that's the issue some pitchers are having. Everybody's using it, but where's the line where an umpire says, that's too much, I'm throwing you out the game?
That's a fair question.
Now, the other thing we always look at is spin rate. Was it affected? Domingo Germán's spin rate was not any higher yesterday than it was normally, but his spin rate this season has been higher, which leads to the question, has he been using, quote-unquote, too much of this stuff all year long?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, none of us freaking know. Here's what we know. For the next 10 days, the Yankees are without him, and they've got a dead roster spot. And the other thing from last night is it forced them to go to the bullpen early, and Ian Hamilton injured his groin. Is it related to him having to warm up and be given as much time as possible, and maybe he didn't take enough time? No one knows, but Domingo Germán's ejection last night hurt the team. Now, they won the game and they overcame it, but it hurt the team, and I think that's a part of why Boone was a little pissed off.
Yeah, but look, the Yankees got the win. They now got to get through, 2 starts for Germán that he's not going to make with the 10-game suspension. And really, I mean, not all good in Yankee land, but they got the dub, and that's true at the end of the day. All that matters, stacked dubs. Meanwhile, a game that had no buzz at all, your club.
Yeah.
Your club.
They suck.
Justin Verlander takes the mound for the first time ever as a New York Met pitcher at Citi Field.
He sucked.
Got booed off the mound, Ev.
Yes, he did. I was there. I didn't boo him, but I wasn't happy.
What's going on with the New York Mets?
They suck, Craig.
Yeah.
They don't pitch well. They don't hit well.
Yeah.
They don't catch the ball well.
Yeah.
They're not managed well. I mean, there really is no redeeming quality about this team. Now, they're calling on Mark Vientos today, thank God.
Yeah.
But they need to pitch better. Yeah. Justin Verlander gave up how many home runs yesterday? Justin Verlander, sure, he gave him 5 innings. The Mets were out of the game.
Yeah, and they have no offense.
They've got no offense. They've got no pitching. Yeah. They've got a bullpen that's good at the back end, but obviously when you got to go to the underbelly of it every single day. So right now, I don't know, is it too early to panic? I'm panicking. I'm nervous.
I mean, you've played a quarter of your season. You're barely a 500 team, or a couple games under, right? Mm-hmm. Justin Verlander's been a train wreck.
No, that's not true. Justin Verlander had 2 good starts yesterday. He was a train wreck.
He's had 3 starts total as a Met. Is that right? He's a train wreck.
So the first problem is he missed a month. You want to get him on for that? Fine.
Well,
his next 2 starts were good. Yesterday, he was bad.
Train wreck.
Yeah, yesterday was a train wreck. Fine.
Yeah, total train wreck. Max Scherzer did pitch better the last time out, but train wreck.
Yep.
You have an offense that is non-existent thus far this year.
Right.
You have a manager that's finally being criticized for this move or that move.
Right.
You've got a kind of boring, listless, lifeless team right now.
Craig, the game
is that fair to
last
say?
night was a funeral.
Yeah.
It was so dark and depressing.
I mean, you can be a Yankee fan if you want.
The buzz in the crowd last night in my section was, I'm not even kidding you, the buzz in my section was about the San Antonio Spurs. I'm not even joking.
Getting Wamba Yamba.
Can you believe it? The Spurs won the lottery. That was the talk because the game was lifeless. And what's so scary is you look at this team and say, when is it going to change and how is it going to change?
Well, who's going to change it?
I'm glad they're calling up Mark Vientos. I hope Buck Showalter plays him.
Yeah.
And I know this is really boring to say, but this is the reality.
You do what you got to do.
You need the guys on your team to play better.
Yeah.
You need the aces to pitch better. Yeah. You need your sluggers to hit more. You need Starling Marte to not look like a corpse, which he looked like last night. You need everybody to be better because right now they're sinking. It's like the Titanic, and they're sinking fast.
They are sinking fast. So, the New York Mets are at a crossroads, the New York Yankees. And how about the American League East? Every single team over 500.
Yeah.
In the American League East, everybody playing above 500 ball.
You know what?
Tampa, of course, because you're not doing the Yankees any favors, are going to sweep right through Citi Field.
Well, with the American League
They don't even
East,
have to cheat to do it.
Well, I'm not going to get into that. With the all I know is it seems like they're on every pitch last night. It's almost like they know what's coming, but what do I know? The American League East, that's just an observation. The American League East destroys everybody in their way.
Yeah.
They beat up on each other when they play each other.
Yeah.
But when they face non-AL East teams, their winning percentage is like 700.
Dude, Boston's 3 games over 500. The Yankees and Toronto are 6 games over 500. Baltimore's 12 games over 500. And Tampa Bay, oh, by the way, 21 games over 500.
You know what would fire me up about last night, though, if I'm a Yankee fan? Forget the record, forget the way they played recently, forget all that stuff, the bullpen stepping up. You had major controversy. You had adversity. You had the crowd in right field chanting that Aaron Judge was a cheater.
Yeah.
You had your starting pitcher have to come out after 3 perfect innings because he's using sticky stuff, and now you got to go to your bullpen. And by the way, the Blue Jays are getting a great start from Kevin Gausman, right?
Right.
All that's going against you.
Yeah.
And yet you punch them in the face with Aaron Judge hitting a home run off that dopey Maple Leaf sign in center field.
Yeah.
Like, that was the ultimate FU to everything about the Blue Jays, to John Schneider, to Vladimir Guerrero, who unfortunately has this knee issue, to everything. And so sometimes it's tough to measure that other quality about a team.
Yeah.
And at times when the Yankees die in the ALCS, the talking point I hear from Yankee fans is, they got no soul, they got none of this, they got none of that. All I know is over the last 2 games, they got a lot of soul.
They got a lot of
balls.
I mean, you got the 2 comeback wins against Tampa in the 4-game series. Damn near came back in the last one after the Volpe 2-run home run brought him within a run, and then obviously Judge doesn't get the home run there late. You get the 2 wins against Toronto to start this series. The Yankees have, as you know, lots of injuries. No excuse. Every team goes through injuries. But the fact that they're 6 games over 500 and winning more series than they lose, at some point, you got to acknowledge, I don't know how they're doing it, but give them credit for doing it.
And here's the other thing. There are superstar players in sports who, when they get, disrespected, even if it's a fake disrespect like Jordan proved, they're going to beat you. They're going to take you. Aaron Judge last night, if you didn't get goosebumps from that bomb of a home run that essentially won the game for the Yankees, what's wrong with you? Think about it.
I agree.
He's accused, right or wrong, for peeking over and stealing signs, which he did nothing wrong about, but whatever. He's got the crowd in right field the entire night calling him a cheater. The Yankees as a team are facing adversity, and he comes up to the plate against Eric Swanson in a big spot, and he took their soul. Like, that's a baller move. That's a superstar move. That's a Michael Jordan move. Like, it's one thing, Craig, to put up monster numbers in baseball, but sometimes you got to watch a guy closely to find out when does he put up the monster numbers. Aaron Judge has 11 home runs this year. 6 of them have come to give the New York Yankees a lead. 6 of them.
Right.
That's more than half.
That's why they're a different team with him in the lineup.
Yesterday, with all the talk about signs and coaches and Judge, he hits a home run to win the game in the 8th inning. I just thought, and obviously I don't say this as a Yankee fan, I say this as an observer, that was such a badass win, my only tiny, it's so tiny, it's an itsy-bitsy critique of Aaron Judge, is how come after the game you got to lie to us again? When you're asked why you're pointing to right field, why do you have to tell us you're pointing at the Yankee bullpen because they're doing a stellar job? Why don't you say what the truth was, which is, you know why I was pointing at right field, Meredith? Because those bastard fans in right field who know nothing about baseball, those Canadian Maple Leaf idiots, they were calling me a bad name.
Because you don't give them the satisfaction. The satisfaction was hitting the home run and giving the Yankees the lead that ultimately helped them win the game. You never give anyone the satisfaction. And eventually, they'll start begging you to acknowledge them. I mean, I'm living it right now, right? I got a guy begging me to acknowledge his presence because he's so pathetic, and I have gone ghost on him. And it kills him that I'm not acknowledging his mediocre presence. And I get great joy out of every attempt this clown makes to try to get me to react and give him the attention that he so craves. But I won't do it. Aaron Judge has perfected the I'm not giving you satisfaction. I don't hear you. I don't see you. You don't exist.
You can't see me.
Correct. That's all it is. That's what it is. It's John Cena. You can't see me, and I can't hear you. So you keep chirping. You know what I do? I slurp it up. I don't even hear it. I just eat it. That's all.
Eat it.
And that is the most frustrating thing you can do to somebody trying to troll you. So for the thousands of people out there that are young cheater and whatever else they're yelling at them, I don't hear you. And I just hit bombs.
And that's it, man. Like, for most Yankee fans, all this controversy is so appealing and interesting, and we could dive into every aspect of it. But the badass thing that the Yankees did is they kicked the Blue Jays' ass again.
Yep. Like, that's the most important part of the story.
They've gone up to Toronto, and they've beaten them not once, but twice.
Bingo.
And they won the second game because the guy who was in the fire of it all hit another money clutch bomb of a home run. And that's the most badass thing you could do. And the most impressive thing that's happened over the last 48 hours from the New York Yankees. It's not, who did John Schneider call a fat ass or a fat boy or Luis Rojas and his fake muscles. It's about the fact that the Yankees got the last laugh.
Yeah, that's the most Luis Rojas has been allowed to talk on a baseball field in 2.5 years, by the way. And good for him. Listen, we got lots to do. The phone number to join, 877-337-6666. And, Evan, I'm hoping you can help me. I'm going to have a little party. And I'm trying to find, like entertainment for the party.
Right.
And I'm hoping you can help me out.
Well, I can do my best.
I have a very specific requirement, and I've hit a dead end. I've hit an absolute dead end. I'm trying to acquire, well, number one, I'm looking for a dunk tank. I don't know where to get a dunk tank, so maybe you have a dunk tank guy. I'm also trying to bring in, entertainment, like, you get a magician.
Right.
Always good to have a magician at a party.
Sure.
All right, so I'm looking for a magician, but I'm also thinking of, would you know where I could look to find, and a very specific thing I'm looking for, because I think the kids will love it. I'm looking for a guy that could, look like a wrestler. Right, because kids like
a wrestler,
but it's a very specific type of wrestler.
Okay,
I'm looking for. Again, it's hard to find. I know, but I'm looking for a D-level wrestler with hair plugs, steroids coursing through his body, and a wife who cheated on him the week before he got married.
That's pretty specific.
I can't find that guy. And I'm hoping maybe, you're a well-seasoned traveler and your afternoon Evan. Dunk tank, magician, D-level wrestler whose wife cheated on him a week before he got married, who uses steroids and has hair plugs.
It's got to be a week before they were married?
Within that time frame,
Within that time frame, okay.
If you could help me out with any of those three, I would be very much appreciative of your efforts.
I'm on my research.
Again, dunk tank. Magician. D-level wrestler with steroids, hair plugs, and a wife who cheated on him a week before he married
That's
her.
quite the trifecta, by the way.
And I can't find any of the three.
I'll do my best.
I've been searching, and I just can't find any of those three. So maybe offline.
Of course.
You just steer me in the right
Me
direction.
and Loogie are wrestling experts. We'll track it down for you.
Yeah. What about the magician and the dunk tank?
Big Mac will handle the dunk tank. Can you handle the dunk tank?
You got a dunk tank guy?
I do have a dunk tank guy.
See? Great. Magician? Anyone got a magician?
Face painter. And animal balloon maker.
I don't have little kids, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's the dunk tank for?
For the older kids.
But you remember, wait a second, when you turn balloons into animals, you could turn it into other things that are more adult friendly.
Yes. Boobs.
Yes.
Things of that nature.
You said it.
All right,
Yes,
great.
the older
All right.
kids would appreciate a balloon penis.
All right, and the D-level wrestler, any
I got to do my research, man.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'd appreciate that.